Thank you, Pipe Major Ennis. The Surrey Police Service recognizes that our work takes place on the ancestral, traditional, and unceded territories of the Coast Salish peoples, including the Semiahmoo, Katsi, Coquitlam, Kwantlen, Kaikit, and Tsawwassen First Nations. Before I ask our first speaker to come forward, I would like to please invite Chief Harley Chappell of the Semiahmoo First Nation to provide a blessing for this event and this historic day. Chief.
CMNS Chalacha, Heichka, Quanasanatacho, Tiasquile, Quapocton Sinsasna, CM Haywach to Semiama. It's in Tletzi, Tia Maqualia, Tia Caius. Dear friends and relatives, first off, I thank you all for being here today. This gesture we use in our custom and our belief, we raise our hands. And when we welcome, when we greet our guests and our visitors to our territories, we raise our hands, we sing our welcome songs. Today, I'm just going to ask you all to raise your hands and welcome this special day we're having here and officially welcoming the SPS here as police of jurisdiction in the city of Surrey. That gesture that we use, it's so simple, it's so easy. We raise our hands, we show we're coming in peace, we're opening our hearts and our minds to the good work that's at hand. So I'm grateful to be here today. I'm gonna sing one of our welcome songs of us the Semiahmoo people. And once again, I'd like to welcome you to the unceded territory of the Semiahmoo people. Our home has been here since the beginning of time. And I'm very, very grateful to be here today. But I'm just gonna ask, if you're seating, you can stay seated and you're standing. But I was gonna ask you to use that gesture of welcoming our SPS, Surrey Police Service, here to Surrey as we continue. Thank you all. I not touchelness will more see long pom shasha quaqualixan see him The song that we blessed our afternoon here with is our Clactamish flood song. And it reminds us of our origins and our beginnings and the big flood that happened. And I think of the storms that we've encountered through this process through the past few years. And the sky has cleared up a little bit. The water's gotten a little bit calmer for us. And it's a day that we can continue our travel in a good way.
Thank you very much, Chief Chappell. I would now like to invite Surrey Police Service Chief Constable Norm Lipinski.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for coming to today's event as we acknowledge this significant change in Surrey's policing. I would like to thank Chief Chappell, Minister Begg, Mayor Locke, Assistant Commissioner Brewer for being part of today's event. To all our other special guests, including our RCMP colleagues, members of council, the media, SPS staff, and those watching our live stream remotely, thank you for joining us. Today's remarks entail the beginning of a new era of policing in Surrey, as Surrey Police Service officially becomes the city's new police service. At midnight, I had the honor of making the first police radio broadcast for Surrey Police Service, and I can tell you, it was a highlight of my career. We have been preparing for this date for the past 4 years. and we are very proud of all we have done to become Surrey's new police service. To all of the SPS employees who have worked so hard to build a new modern police service, I thank you. You have pushed through challenges, broken new ground, and used your experiences and expertise to build a police service that challenges the status quo. I also want to recognize the civilian employees who support critical police services in Surrey, and I officially welcome them to the SPS team. Although we have collectively accomplished a lot, the work continues. Becoming the police of jurisdiction is a significant milestone, but it's not the end of the policing transition. We are still growing, and our organization continues to grow in collaboration with the RCMP. The change in police of jurisdiction is a change in which police agency has command of policing for the entire city of Surrey. As of today, that has switched to the Surrey Police Service, and the RCMP has moved into a support role called the Surrey Provincial Operations Support Unit. This unit will support policing in Surrey until the transition is fully completed. Surrey will also continue to be supported by the 5 lower mainland integrated teams, including IHIT. At this time, SPS will be policing 2 of Surrey's town centers, Whalley City Centre and Newton. We will also have ownership of over 20 programs that will deliver citywide services such as block watch, parent helpline, gang prevention programs such as the RAP program. All told, SPS now has conduct over half of the policing services in the city, and that will grow as we continue to scale up and the RCMP scales down their support role. I want to assure the residents that the collective police response will be coordinated and ongoing through the coming months, and both the RCMP and the SPS are here to serve the community together. Further, it's important for residents to know that how they access policing services in Surrey is not changing. Police office locations and the main police phone numbers remain the same, including 911 and the non-emergency number. I want to thank and acknowledge Mike Sear, who has been appointed as the administrator of the Surrey Police Board for the past year. I appreciate your significant efforts to advance the transition. Thank you. Finally, on behalf of the Surrey Police Service, I would like to express my sincere gratitude to the past and current members of the RCMP who have served in Surrey for 73 years. Your legacy of unwavering commitment to public safety in this city is deeply appreciated and will always be an important part of Surrey's police history. I would now like to invite Assistant Commissioner John Brewer, Criminal Operations Officer of Core Policing for BC, to come to the podium and make remarks. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Thank you so much for being here to recognize this next step in a long-awaited transition. Today, the RCMP is returning police jurisdiction of the City of Surrey to a municipal service, the Surrey Police Service. It has been the RCMP's honor and privilege to serve Surrey's residents as its police service since 1951. In those early years, the Surrey detachment consisted of only about 15 constables. They worked out of Cloverdale, and most of them had to sleep in an old post office for the first year in their existence. We've changed. Since then, Surrey's become one of the fastest growing communities in all of Canada. That small detachment became the largest in the RCMP with over 1,000 officers across the city. We're extremely proud of all our members and employees that have accomplished in Surrey over the years. They've adapted and expanded to reflect the unique and dynamic needs of the community. They provided exceptional service, and while doing so, through innovation, community relations, and creativity, often created many best practices that are now part of our core business throughout the RCMP and indeed many police services in Canada and internationally. We are proud of the Surrey RCMP's legacy. I would be remiss if I did not acknowledge the 5 fallen RCMP officers who gave the ultimate sacrifice in the service to the city of Surrey. We are forever indebted to Constable John Baldwinson, Constable Terence Draginda, Constable Archie Lapine, Constable Roderick Pirlet, and of course, Constable Adrian Oliver. They remain in our hearts and minds, and we'll never forget their service and sacrifice. Over the next 2 years, the RCMP will continue to operate in Surrey in several ways. First, as part of the new Surrey Provincial Operations Support Unit. I'm happy to announce that this unit will be led by the new officer in charge, Chief Superintendent Wendy Mehat. Chief Superintendent Mehat began her policing career here in Surrey almost 25 years ago and has served the city in unique roles and at various ranks. She was recently officer in charge of Ridge Meadows RCMP detachment, and earlier this week also became the president of the BC Association of Chiefs of Police. She's had a busy week. She brings a very diverse policing background and a wealth of experience, as well as proven leadership in her new role, and she has our complete support. The RCMP's new Provincial Operations Support Unit will see our frontline members serving in Districts 4, 2, and 5, more well known as Guildford Fleetwood, Cloverdale, and South Surrey areas. We'll also be providing investigative and community services in those areas and where necessary to support the SPS. The RCMP will also continue to be part of the Lower Mainland integrated teams, and our provincial and federal police services have not changed. I'd like to acknowledge the municipal employees who've worked alongside us all these years. They're the backbone of policing in this city, and they'll continue to work hard for Surrey. I want to recognize all the members of the RCMP, past and present, who've put their heart and soul in protecting this community. You continue to inspire all of us with your willingness to adapt and your unshakable dedication to service. And finally, thank you everyone who has contributed their time and energy in this transition. It's been a long road to reach this point, and there's still plenty of road ahead of us, but together we'll make that. While the RCMP's role in Surrey will now shift, our commitment and dedication to public safety will not change. This transition is one more step in a long legacy for the RCMP's contributions to this city. I welcome you, Chiefs, to... Sorry. Thank you.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. I'm pleased to be here with the entire council, the entire of Surrey City Council. I will introduce them. Councillor Annis, Councillor Bowes, Councillor Baines, Councillor Elford, Councillor Nagra, Councillor Cooner, Councillor Hepner, and Councillor Stutt are all here today. I wouldn't be who I am if I didn't acknowledge that today is somewhat of an emotional day. While many of us worked hard to maintain the RCMP and will be sad to see them go, there is no doubt that today is also a significant day for our future in Surrey. But before I get to the future, I want to thank the RCMP for everything they have done to keep Surrey safe for 73 years. It was in 1950 when Surrey City Council made the decision to make the RCMP our police of jurisdiction, and no one should question the care and attention that they have provided our community over their tenure. To all of the members that have served in our city, and especially those that were injured or made the ultimate sacrifice, thank you for your service. Your bravery served our city, and you and your families deserve our enduring thanks. For those who don't know, I have lived in Surrey for well over 40 years. And during that time, I have had the pleasure of working with so many excellent leaders in the RCMP. That includes many of the officers in charge, and I would like to take a moment to acknowledge each of them. Terry Smith, Jamie Graham, Fraser McRae, Bill Forday, Dwayne McDonald, and of course, Brian Edwards. You have contributed so much to the City of Surrey. Thank all of you for your leadership and for your efforts on behalf of our city. You and the officers under your command worked extremely hard to make Surrey a safer place to live, and you deserve the greatest amount of our respect for a job you have done and will continue to do. I know many of the RCMP will continue to support this transition for months and years to come, but today we want to thank you and wish you well when your time comes to take on new challenges outside of our community. I don't think anyone would disagree that getting to where we are today was not a smooth path. And maybe that's even an understatement. I don't know. But for my part, it's no secret I was opposed to this transition. I said I did a lot to try and keep the RCMP in Surrey. I know some people, including many here today, just wanted me to drop it and let the transition move forward. And I can understand why that path might have been appealing. No one involved in this very public debate did it for fun. We may have disagreed on which police service was the best for the city, but I don't question whether we were each doing what we felt was the best for our city. I was standing up for Surrey taxpayers and for a police service that I believe has served our community well. I felt it was necessary to stand up for taxpayers because my predecessor didn't develop a plan or account for the cost of this transition, which left us in a very difficult spot. And while it may not have been the path that I felt was best, the deal that we negotiated with the province to support the transition was the best possible outcome for the city. The agreement will see the province contribute up to $250 million to support the transition and reduce the cost to Surrey taxpayers. I and my council worked hard to ensure this funding would be provided. I want to acknowledge and thank the province of BC for agreeing to provide that funding. It was a decision that was critical to getting us to where we are today, and they deserve credit for coming to the table and acknowledging our concerns. Finally, I do want to speak to the people of the Surrey Police Service and our collective future. You have been given very large shoes to fill. The City of Surrey is counting on each and every one of you to keep us safe. And while it may have felt like we were once on different sides of a public debate, I want to assure you that we will do everything in our power to support those who stand up to protect our citizens, our residents. There are no more sides. We must be united in our efforts, and we wish you well and will have your back every step of the way. Together, we can make a Surrey Police Service a police that is diverse, modern, and responsive and principled. And together, we can make the Surrey Police Service the best municipal service in Canada. So I hope we all can get to work now, and I thank you all.
Thank you, and good afternoon, everyone. I am Gary Begg, and I'm honored to serve Thank you. I'm honored to serve as the newly appointed Minister of Public Safety and Solicitor General. Before I begin, I would like to express my thanks to Chief Harley Chappell for the warm and thoughtful welcome. Thanks to Chief Lipinski and Assistant Commissioner Brewer for giving me the opportunity to share a few words today. I acknowledge Mayor Locke and Surrey City Councilors as we embark on a new relationship by working together for our #1 priority of keeping people and businesses safe. Surrey truly is a remarkable place to live. It's a city defined by its vibrant diversity, boundless opportunities, and a strong sense of community, qualities that make it a place for all of us in Surrey to call home. For more than half of my life, I have had the privilege of serving with the RCMP, including 8 incredible years right here in Surrey. During that time, I developed a deep appreciation of Surrey's unique character, its rich culture, strong community connections, and the opportunities it offers to those who work and live here. I've seen firsthand how Surrey thrives on diversity. This culture of inclusion strengthens our neighborhoods and contributes to the character, community life, and vibrancy that define our city. It's the same diversity and sense of belonging that will be instrumental in ensuring the success of the police, the Surrey Police Service. Today marks an historic day, not only for Surrey, but for communities across the country. Today is a landmark achievement and significant milestone in policing in Canada. No matter the uniform, I know that every officer puts their lives on the line every day in service to the people and businesses here. Police officers serve with honor and dedication, and I thank RCMP officers for their unwavering commitment to the people of Surrey. The RCMP has played a critical role in ensuring the community's safety and well-being over the decades. And those contributions of the RCMP have laid a strong foundation for the Surrey Police to build on. I also thank the people of Surrey. I know it's been a long time coming, but your patience and input throughout the transition have been invaluable. Built from the ground up, the Surrey Police Service represents a new chapter in law enforcement, one that builds upon the success of the RCMP, a chapter that brings together skilled officers from different backgrounds across the country to ensure the safety and security of the Surrey community. While there's still work ahead to fully complete the transition, today signals the beginning of a new era for Surrey. An era defined by community-led policing, innovative approaches and practices that aligns with the values and needs of Surrey. Before I finish, I want to recognize and thank the past and current members of the RCMP, a police service that has served the Surrey community since 1951. I am proud of the history of the RCMP in Surrey. The Mayor, the RCMP, federal government, and Premier Eby and I are committed to working together on our #1 job, keeping people and businesses safe. Together, we're embarking on an exciting new chapter for this city, a chapter rooted in collaboration, trust, and shared vision for a safer, more inclusive Surrey. And I look forward to seeing how the Surrey Police Service continues to grow, innovate, and serve our vibrant community. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We now have some time for questions. Again, a reminder for the media, please put your hand up, say your name, say what media outlet you're from, and please ask of who your question is directed to. And for those who are going to be answering questions, please come to the podium and speak into the mic so the media can catch your response. Thank you.
I'm sorry I didn't hear the whole question. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so yeah. It will be indicated to me what my priorities are. It's something that's decided by the government, including the Premier and Cabinet. But I think I mentioned a couple of times during my speech, we are looking after in all of the province the safety and security of the people of the province of British Columbia. And that can entail many things. For example, port policing has become a recent issue. And the job of police always is to provide reassurance to those who are the recipients of policing. And that's what we're doing. We will set out in the next couple of weeks, I've only been there a week, we will set out a plan that we will make public about what our policing imperatives are in the province.
Thank you. My name is Chief Constable. My question is for Madam Mayor Catala. After spending over $200 million on blocking the SPS Foundation, do you now support the SPS, Madam? Yes or no?
Thank you. Your information on the cost is incorrect. But of course, as I said in my speech before, we will be working together with the SPS to make sure it's a success. There's no
I
question.
appreciate that.
Thank you for your question. At the present time, we are going to be part of the integrated teams for the foreseeable future, and we'll make assessments down the road as we grow as a city, but we're very much involved with the integrated teams and part of the MOU structure so far.
Not at all. We wouldn't be where we are today if we hadn't done that. And certainly the money, the $250 million that the province has contributed will help us with the transition at this point. So there is no regrets. I did what I said we were going to do in the 2022 election. And so I think moving forward, we will do exactly that.
Yeah, thanks for that question. So the focus of the RCMP is much like the focus of the SPS here. Professional police officers are going to be concerned first and foremost about the safety of the citizens of Surrey. Make no mistake on that. The RCMP members, as Surrey Police Service brings in more numbers, we will draw down the number of RCMP. They will be going to other postings within the province, Lower Mainland, and outside of the province. Our focus is making sure those members are looked after, and again, maintaining public safety within Surrey as long as the RCMP is here to support the SPS. So we're in the middle of dealing with accommodations here, Chief Lipinski and I, but there will be RCMP be working out of one set of buildings, and in districts 2, 4, 5 in the SPS will be working in main building here, and 1 and 3, and then we'll adjust as the draw up happens to SPS and the drawdown happens to the RCMP.
Well, the money is over a 10-year period, so we will be getting it every year for the next 10 years. We are obviously going to see escalating costs for policing in our city, as everyone is seeing that in every city. So I can't tell you specifically, but there's, make no mistake, it is significantly more to have a municipal police force than it was to have the RCMP contract policing. Thank you.
Thank you very much, speakers. We'll give the speakers a few minutes to catch their breath, grab a drink of water, and then I'll invite them to come out. Again, if the media, if you'd like to ask anyone individually questions, you're more than welcome to do that. You can use this space, which again might be a little loud with all the people, or you're welcome to go outside or wherever you can find a quiet spot. Thank you very much all for coming today.